If you worry about what other people think, soon enough, you will be on the sidelines of your life.
Welcome to the Millionaire Woman Show, where we'll be discussing leadership, business, human potential, inspiring you to live rich from the inside out. Unlock your creativity, stretch out of your comfort zone, break through your barriers, take inspired action, and achieve epic results. Now here's your host, three-time best-selling author, speaker, and certified executive coach, Debra Kasowski.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Millionaire Woman Show. I wanted to start off today's podcast by inviting you to check out Coaching with Debra Kasowski International. We help individuals unlock their potential, step into the skin that they're meant to be in, get out of their own way, brainstorm ideas, and move through transition. If you're interested in coaching and moving forward into stepping into who you're meant to be, go over to my website at www.debrakasowski.com and click on coaching so that you can send me a message and I can follow up with you. I do read all my emails, so I would love to touch base with you and seeing how we can get you to step into the next level for yourselves. Without further ado, today we are going to be talking about the journey to greatness. And I have an easy acronym for you. And that way you'll think about those Debra moments, because the acronym is actually my name, Debra, D-E-B-R-A. For you to remember the steps for Journey to Greatness, 5 simple steps that are going to help you move into that person you see yourself to be. Now, when we think about a journey, we can think about, a Sherpa climbing a mountain. We can think of different types of treks or hikes. I often like to use a triathlon because there's lots of transition points along the way. So I'm going to start off with D. And D stands for discover what lights you up. You really want to be able to understand that purpose that you feel that you're called here to be. Why are you here? Or what's underlying? What is the why that you wish to serve? What's going to give you that meaning and significance in life? There's also passion. What do you love doing? And also having that presence of getting lost in what you're doing, which we often call flow. So that you lose track of time. So there's purpose, passion, and presence. Where is it that you're fully present and the world disappears around you? That you're passionate about it, that it doesn't feel like work, and that it meets the needs of you feeling that you're living a meaningful life and that you matter. That's what discover what lights you up is, the D. Now, the E is about exploring new experiences. This can be in the form of education, entertainment, travel, being in nature, photography or videography, capturing those moments. And then B is for breakthrough transition points. And I like to use the metaphor again, like I said, of a triathlon. So in a triathlon, we swim, transition, and change up things so that we could go into a bike. And then when you get off the bike, you transition to a run. And it's not so much the activity of the swim, the bike, or the run. It's the transition points between each activity that we need to make as smooth as possible, as timely as possible. And often that you can relate that to transitions on your own life. If you're starting a new job, or, in the midst of a job, or starting a relationship or leaving a relationship, all of these things are transition points. Or, as you grow through life, different decades, there's going to be different things that happen, from kids going to school to kids graduating to empty nesters, retirement, so many different stages in life, that the smoother we make those transitions, the easier it is for us to transition and embrace the next stage, the next chapter of our lives. And with life changes, we need to adjust, right? So, and also when it comes to career changes or starting a business, think about those transition points, and the smoother we can make them, by preparation and planning and really doing our due diligence, those are the things that can help us move forward. So far you got D, E, B. So again, discover what lights you up, explore new experiences, and then breakthroughs, transition points. Now, R has a lot to do with reflection and readjustments. This is where the greatest learning happens. You see, the greatest learning is not from doing, it's actually reflecting and thinking about what you just did. And instead of going through the motions, and I like to think that there's 3 I's. Now, this is something that you might want to write down or come back to, is gaining insight. When you have that insight and that awareness of how something went, that's only when you can decide how to improve it, or decide if you're even going to use that strategy again. So it's what's working, what's not working, what can I be doing differently that will get me the greatest return on investment of time, energy, and resources. So the insight is so important. But then we move into that improvement. How can I improve? How can I move forward? And of course, nothing happens without action. That implementation is key. So when you discover what you're aware of, it's great to know it, but you got to close that gap into doing and moving into implementation. Because if we don't implement what we know, it's just, great knowledge, but it doesn't mean anything until you put it into action and start getting the results that you want. So this is a great place to reflect and readjust. And then the biggest one is A. Number 5 is A. It's about appreciating how far you've come, being able to provide yourself with that self-approval, self-validation. Otherwise, I remember, telling my business coach that, I'm doing all these tasks, yet I still feel that I'm standing still. And I hope some of you listening or watching have experienced the same thing. So, we often feel like we're the only ones going through what we're going through. And at the time, no one else was sharing with me that they felt like they were going through the motions. They were, doing all these activities without seeing the results that they wanted. And it wasn't until she taught me to remind myself to review the wins at the end of the day, review the wins of my family members, to really understand that without celebrating the smallest things that we take action on, we're not going to recognize when the big things happen. And that's exactly what happened. Things were growing, things were moving, and I wasn't recognizing them. So A is a big one. Recognizing the experiences you've had. And often, when you journal, I recommend that, you journal for 3 to 4 months, and, don't look at it in the process. Maybe even for the first 8 weeks, 10 weeks, don't look at your journal. And then there will come a point where you'll go back and you'll read. You'll find out what you were venting about at the time. You'll find out where your greatest insights were. And then you have a launch pad, per se, to move forward with. Sometimes when we read it right away, those feelings and emotions are quite raw, and then we don't do anything with it. It's like it stings and it's still hot. So you want to really come from a place of clarity where emotions are in a calm place where you can actually make decisions. Because those emotions, if you're in a state, in that fight flight mode, you're not going to be able to make decisions that are rational and clear and in the direction that you wanted them to be. So you really want to be able to think through your decisions calmly and make the right choice for you. The other thing that's really cool when you're appreciating where you came from is acknowledging the people who have entered your life. Is, they're not there by coincidence. I feel that every single person that comes into our lives is there for a reason. And you've probably heard the phrase, they're there for a season, a reason, or a lesson. And, when these things come up, I want you to think about the synchronicities that occur. I know that, over the years, there's been so many incredible synchronicities that I've had in my life, to meeting people and ending up in restaurants and, meeting some more people, and then just always finding ourselves in a new place. And it's magical. It's guided. And in that journey to greatness, there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be things that come up that are going to be testing your journey. And sometimes it might feel like a detour. And sometimes we have to follow those detours, just like when you see construction on the road. The road's blocked off, so you have to take the detour. You have to go the other direction. But sometimes what it's doing is it's leading you exactly where you need to be and being able to trust that, I still can get to the right place, even though I got sidetracked. So when we look at the acronym Debra, it is really about, again, discovering what lights you up, what gets you excited, what gets you to jump out of bed in the morning. That's where the journey begins. Then we're going to explore all the new experiences, because here's the thing. A person can only share and be, life skilled in the area if they have put themselves in and exposed themselves to different scenarios. Like the best doctor is only as good as the exposure to the scenarios and experiences that they have been involved in. When you think about the best coaches, what coaches were they exposed to? What lessons were they exposed to along the way? It is all of these life experiences that really are our true gift and learning. And then we have the breakthrough transition points. Wherever you are on that journey, we break through those obstacles. We break through some of that self-limiting thinking. We break through some of those scenarios that might be holding us back, or where we're often doubting ourselves in some of those times of transition or not knowing what to do. And then we have that reflection and readjustment, being able to truly reflect on how things are going and knowing, here's the thing, knowing that you can adjust the course along the way. If we need to adjust something, we think of the different path. What are the things that we can be doing versus focusing on can't? Because truly, when it comes down to it, can't is a choice. So we got to think about, what am I aspiring to be? What can I move into so I can really seize the day and get the results that I want? And of course, A takes you back to appreciative living, appreciating how far you've come, where the best experiences come from, and how can you build them into implementing those experiences into your life every day. That journey to greatness, although, the comment is life is short. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do to move forward to live your best life? Your greatness has to do with you deciding what lights you up, what gets you excited. And when you know what that is, it might be your career, it might be your family, it might be the tribe of people that you hang out with. It might be leading an organization or running your own business. When your journey to greatness is about you and your development of who you're needing to be, are you leading yourself in the direction of your dreams? Are you managing yourself and, being your best, making sure that your clothing is pressed, making sure that you are showing up as your best self every day? Now, that's going to vary from day to day and moment to moment, but knowing when you show up as your best self, there's nothing that anyone can take away from you, and you won't have any regrets because you gave your best. So I want to challenge you and ask you, are you stepping into your greatness? And some of you might be searching for it and knowing that you need to go within to find that greatness inside of you. And if you think, oh, you know what, I looked over there and that person's so great and I wish I could be like them, and you start comparing yourself and you completely take the energy off yourself, you're going to lose the battle. It is human nature for us to compare ourselves to others. It's how we do a check-in to see that we're all right. But you are enough, just as you are, being able to step into and bring those gifts to the world. Because what I've learned along this journey is so many people have packed up their gift and they've put it in a safe place because they're scared that someone's going to judge that gift. They're scared that somebody's opinion is, they're going to slash it, they're going to tear it down, they're going to make fun of them. The gift that you have for the world, your talent, skill, knowledge, or ability, we need it. We need it. And you're doing a disservice by, putting it in a drawer and not pulling it out. We need you to be sharing it. We need you to be stepping into that greatness because the world needs it. Only you are the one who can deliver that gift for the world. And that's why every single person has a different gift and can only present it in their own way. So today, my challenge is for you to think of the acronym Debra and think about how you're going to start pulling out your gifts, sharing them out with the world, and stepping into your true potential. Thank you for joining me on today's podcast of The Journey to Greatness. I know you're well on your way. I'd love to help you out by going over to my website at www.debrakasowski.com, where you can get your 3-part video course on making habits stick, so you can build focus and consistency into your goal setting and help you move to the next level. Discover what's derailing you from getting the goals that you want and really stepping into that potential. I'd love for you to rate and review this show. Follow us on YouTube if you have not, clicked into the channel. Our channel has videos dropping all the time to help support you along your journey. And again, reach out. If you've hit that point that you're interested in working with a coach, you want to see if we're a right fit, check out my discovery session by going to my website at www.debrakasowski.com and sending me a message. Thanks again. As Muhammad Gandhi said, be the change you wish to be in the world. And my wish for you, as always, is go out and make today great.